All right, guys. So just kind of continuing on kind of the shift in the content that I kind of been putting out here around, obviously we're going through a pretty unique situation right now, a lot of uncertainty that's going around with COVID-19 coronavirus. And I'm trying to take a little bit of a different approach here and try to give some different perspectives on the situation, especially from like owner operators that are seeing the market from a lot of different kind of angles. And one that I thought would be extremely kind of unique because of just the background of the business, the category of the business, and just the kind of the arrangement or kind of the collection of different SKUs that LifeAid has. I thought it would be interesting to talk to Aaron Hinde and kind of get his perspective on things. And I guess just to throw it to you, Aaron, real quick, just for people that might not know of you, give them a little bit of a background of you personally and just kind of how LifeAid started, kind of where you guys are at today.
Sure, yeah. Aaron Hinde, president, co-founder here at LifeAid Beverage. We started in 2011 with my business partner, Orion Mellahan, and neither of us had any beverage experience whatsoever. I was a sports chiropractor here in Santa Cruz. He was a certified financial planner. It's really out of ignorance and passion. We put all our chips, our savings account in the middle, started a company, and it was all about providing better for you products that had functional benefit, but still had that kind of cool, sexy, hip, for lack of a better word, lifestyle branding that the energy drinks were so good at. But more of the health angle of the emerging brands like kombuchas and coconut waters at the time.
You look back at 2000 and you said 11 when you guys started,
Yeah.
and you think about kind of the alt channel, or kind of now what they kind of call it. You guys started out in the CrossFit kind of subculture, right? I mean, because that's where you and your partner met originally.
Yeah. We met in a CrossFit gym in 2009. So we're early kind of to that trend. I was treating a lot of CrossFit. Headquarters was located in Scotts Valley in Santa Cruz County. That's where my practice was. Was working on the athletes, and so got into CrossFit. That's where we met. And we did two things that beverage experts said you can't do. One, we created a product specifically for the gym channel, specifically for CrossFit, which was way too narrow, too niche at the time, and then we sold only online for the first 5 years.
Where are you guys at, like around on a revenue side?
Yeah, I mean, this year we're pre-COVID, and I'm sure we'll dive into that. We're on pace to do 50 million.
How many retailers are you guys in now?
If you include gyms, we're 30,000. Our retail presence about 20, and another 10 with gyms.
And what's kind of been the effect that you've seen at LifeAid, being that you guys are in so many different channels? I guess we'll kind of talk channel first. Like, where are you seeing some of the positivity in your business? And then on the opposite side, like where's been some struggles?
Yeah, I'll start with the struggles. Obviously, we still sell to a ton of gyms. And what is it? I read this morning, I think 90% of the gyms in the U.S. are shut down. Our gym business is down about 82% as of this morning. So major distribution channel, all of our early adopters, basically shut down. So instead of, focusing on woe is us and, our business is screwed, we took massive action to say, okay, well, where can we press? Where are the opportunities? And the opportunities have been in fueling our direct-to-consumer business, which is up triple digits, fueling our Amazon business, which is up multiple triple digits, and then having a new hero SKU emerge. We really cut our teeth around FitAid in the fitness channel, initially CrossFit and then broader fitness. And that does really well at retail. It's our number one selling SKU. Our number two seller has always been FocusAid, our nootropic drink. But more recently, Immunity Aid has popped into either the number one or number two spot, depending on channel.
And that's kind of bringing up an interesting point, because that Immunity Aid, product that's sold through had some fans of it. And then, obviously we're going through a global health pandemic at this point, and then everybody's thinking about immune health. It's like all of a sudden, all the stuff that they should have been kind of proactively doing all the time. And I'm sure a lot of your core customers are doing those things already, really focusing on the immune health and just general health. But you're seeing probably new customers. Have you guys kind of looked at those kind of numbers, especially like on maybe your direct to consumer, and saying like where are your first time purchasers at?
Every day we look at it, and our immune, my personal immune protocol hasn't changed because I've been doing the same thing for 35 years now, and a lot of what's in immunity aid is based on that immune protocol, which I know to be extremely effective. I haven't, knock on wood, haven't gotten a cold or anything, any sickness in probably a couple of years now. We are getting a ton of new to file customers. I mean, typically we are paying to to convert new to file customers through trial programs that are loss leaders, et cetera. This is the first time in the history of the company where we're actually monetizing new to file customers. So it's amazing. Our new to file customers on a daily average have increased between 5 and 6-fold, 5 and 6x what we would typically get, and we're monetizing those. And a large majority are coming in through the immunity aid SKU.
On more of kind of the larger retail channels, have you guys had any issues in terms of people kind of doing this kind of stock up situation? Because obviously working through sometimes a distributor and then working through a retailer, there's always those pinch points that are happening. Are you kind of seeing anything from like the retail side of it, like with some of the bigger retailers that you guys work with? Have you guys had some of those communications with the, be it the buyers or anything, and trying to understand, like, is there enough of LifeAid products getting to the people that want it, or are you seeing like still a ton of empty shelves that should be stocked with product?
Yeah, we're in constant communication. I mean, all the way from our co-packers, our ingredient suppliers, through the entire supply chain. There's kinks that are happening, right? I mean, like, we were out of stock for immunity aid for the last couple of weeks. We just got it back in stock. Fortunately, our team and our suppliers were able to react to the demand, and we doubled production for this month. We've quadrupled production for next month. So there's nothing worse than seeing your numbers climb and then drop because you have an empty shelf. So there's a little pantry loading, I think, for all shelf stable brands. A few weeks back, everybody saw massive spikes in their numbers. Then it fell off a little bit. Part of that's pantry loading. Part of that was dealing with out of stocks. So really smoothing out the supply chain, communicating with our retail partners, and doing what we can to assist and get in the store and help not only stock our product, but our guys have been in there and gals have been in stocking, hand sanitizer and soap and water and other SKUs to help out. Anything we can help, store managers do. They're going through a ton of stress right now with everything going on.
That's an interesting point, because I've actually talked to a few of my clients and kind of mentioned some of their sales staff actually go out there and just be a helping hand. Like, just get out to the stores, the stores that they normally visit, and make sure the facings look good. And, they talk to the store managers, the ones that they have those relationships with. Just kind of raise your hand and say, hey, what do you need? Even if it's not anything to do with our business, like, what can I do to help you right now? You don't do it to obviously benefit your business, but it's going to be one of those things where it becomes one of those defining moments where somebody looks back on and says, man, those guys were just really in the trenches with us and helping whatever needs necessary. And then if they can obviously repay that in some way long term, they're going to probably be more likely to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't believe there's any neutral interactions, right? You're either making an emotional deposit or an emotional withdrawal to somebody's emotional bank account, so to speak. So the more we can be making deposit, there's always going to be withdrawals that happen for whatever reason. In our organization, we try to keep those reasons out of our circle of influence, out of our control. So that something happens with FedEx drops a shipment and breaks a can, right? But as long as we've built up that emotional bank account, we know that our customers and our suppliers, our retailers will stick with us over the long run. And so we've always been, from the very earliest days, and especially being customer facing, direct to consumer online only for the first 5 years, being so cognizant of what's the customer's feedback, knowing that you might have a small percentage leaving you a positive review with a great experience, but people are much more motivated to leave a negative review. So going through and commenting and addressing every single review we've ever gotten has been a big plus for us.
What have you guys been doing inside your guys' four walls, or I guess like now virtually, like to make sure everybody's pushing forward and trying to think about the constraints in a positive way and kind of trying to overcome those and create opportunities? Has there been anything that you guys have been specifically doing, or has it been like kind of a daily touch point?
Daily alignment calls, absolutely, with department heads, with our teams. We have our all hands meeting, which we've had forever. On Tuesday, we continue to read our forward-looking vision statement we all know that stress levels high. We're making real-time pivots, which can be frustrating based on market conditions, but the team's firing on all cylinders. I mean, every single department has stepped up in such a big way. We've had outside speakers come in for our Tuesday all hands call. We're very big on a system called Procabulary, put on by Mark England, a good friend of ours that spoke at our retreat before, which is all about eliminating ambiguity in how you converse with people, eliminating soft talk and negations, focusing on what we can do, what we are doing versus what we can't do. It's been very well received and really elevated the communication at our organization, which as an organization scales, it's always the biggest challenge. It's always the biggest challenge 100% of the time is keeping that communication, transparency, keeping everybody in full alignment.
Yeah, I mean, I think that has been one of the areas that has proven to create winners and losers in this kind of uncertainty is the transparency and the level of communication in which the organization has with kind of all stakeholders, be it their internal team to make sure that, hey, they feel comfortable, they feel inspired to continue to work in a difficult situation, be it with some of your retail partners, like explaining them some of the pinch points maybe in your supply chain, or explaining, or customers, like they see something out of stock that might make them think, oh, they're going out of business, or there's things that kind of everybody defaults. If there's no information, they seem to default straight to like worst case scenario. The big kind of point around the stock out seemed to be around like toilet paper. And I was surprised that the major companies not necessarily like getting out there in front of the story and letting people know like, hey, we're good. It's just a matter of we got to work through some of these kinks right now. It seemed like they were working off the, bury their head in the sand type of a situation, which seemed counter to what needed to happen at that point. So I feel like when we get out of this, people are going to look back on a lot of different kind of areas for learnings, but I think the communication aspect is going to be a big area that people are going to look at to decide who was winners and losers during this.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the more transparent we can be, not only within our organization, but, dealing with our customers and saying, hey, I know you're used to getting your product in 2 days. It may take 3 or 4 because, FedEx is so jammed up right now. Or, how do we deal with, all of our gyms that were on a monthly auto ship that, all those products are going out and now, oh, there's nobody there to receive it. So lots of challenges this time, but also tons of opportunity. I mean, Amazon, fortunately, we really pushed all our chips in with Amazon about 1.5 years ago. That's paying massive dividends. I mean, the growth on Amazon, both with new to file and, we've got our product now fitting in multiple categories. We've hit the #1 product in multiple categories now on Amazon. Immunity Aid, Fit Aid, Focus Aids come into the top 5 as well. So it's like really exciting, but it's also, the stress level's high. I mean, you got to be the type of person, and I think most entrepreneurs, by virtue of, the position we put ourselves are that you just, you react well under pressure. Like this is your time to shine. It's your time to really come into your element and create a better vision of the future when there's uncertainty, when people on the team could be very concerned about, losing their job. They're looking around. It's like, oh shit, all my friends have lost their jobs, and it's like, hey, your job's secure, even though you can't be demoing in the store anymore, or all the events are canceled. Let's figure out what you can do. You've got a great skill set here. Let's help you out. Get you helping the sales team, help you out, with digital marketing, whatever it is. Everybody's stepping up and knowing that, hey, I can provide value, even though if it's out of my, typical sphere of my day-to-day duties.
Have you guys spotted any kind of silver linings that have kind of happened throughout this type of situation? Is there things that you've learned about yourself, your team, or something that like this actually helped create a huge opportunity in the future? Because if we would have continued Goldilocks, like you would have never really noticed it, but you kind of had to here, and then that ultimately is going to put you on a trajectory that's going to be even bigger and better than you were.
I 100% believe that we will emerge from this. And people talk about surviving this time. I'm not focused on surviving at all. We're focused on thriving right now. And a couple of things that we've already touched on. I mean, new to file customers. I mean, that's 5 to 6x more people being exposed to our product line, not only in direct to consumer and on Amazon, but on the retail shelves as well. Immunity Aid being our 4th to 5th bestseller, depending on channel, now becoming number 2. It's not a new hero SKU. Now we have 3 hero SKUs instead of 2. It's like there's so much that's coming out of this. And, we also enacted our LifeAid Lift Program to support the gyms, give back to the gyms, and figure out how can we support them, our long-term partners, our core community in these really tough times. And so getting on the phone, constantly with all my gym owner friends around the country, how are you guys doing? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you pivoted here? And just trying to be a sounding board of ideas and information that they go, oh God, that's a good idea. Yeah, let me do that. And, getting people going on online classes. Most of the gym owners that I've talked to, and I'm talking more in the CrossFit, more boutique fitness, not Globo Gym, they're maintaining the majority of their members. Now, the longer this thing goes on, that could change, but there's members that are still writing their full check every month because they know, hey, if we all stop paying, then there's no gym to come back to. So, that sense of community, everybody's really stepping up in a big way. It's great to see.
Yeah, I think with the CrossFit community being so close knit in the boxes, being one of those places where your friends, you go through a lot of difficult workouts together. You end up creating strong bonds through those things. And this is kind of that situation where you need to have those relationships with your customers, and you need for them to know who you are as an owner, what you're about, what you're bringing to the community, to their lives, whatever. And then if that person on the other side, that customer, can actually pay, obviously it's a decision that they have to make. If they need that, $150 a month to put food on their table or something like that, then obviously you have to make that decision. But I think CrossFit gyms have a better chance of sustaining people during that to keep everything going, because I think there's that connection with the gym owner, where it's a little bit different in a Globo Gym perspective, where you don't know who these people are. They're just a faceless, nameless organization that, you don't want to take the $50 out of your thing, because who is this benefit? You start to fill in those gaps of making decisions on why should I do this or why shouldn't I do this? And I think that CrossFit gym owners are well positioned, as long as they kind of do what we were talking about before with communication. I mean, they should get out there and let people know what are they dealing with. I think there's power in kind of emotional intelligence for people to actually just be raw and just tell people what's going on, and respect that the people are going to take it and probably offer some help back in that situation if you're kind of raw and authentic about it. So I glad that you brought that point up, because I think that is the gym portion, being that it's basically all closed. They're probably going to come out stronger than a lot of the other segments of kind of the gym world right now.
Even Globo gyms, if you look at it, and I haven't seen any of them doing this yet, but I think they should. The membership fees are typically much less than that in a boutique fitness or CrossFit. So I might be paying anywhere from 10 to, say $40, $50 a month for a Globo Gym membership, which I've had my entire life. If I was running 24-hour or, Lifetime or one of the big Globo gyms, I've got everybody's name, everybody's credit card. I'd be like, come check out a piece of equipment. Here's the value. If you don't return it, it's hooked to your credit card. We're running daily classes 3 times a day. Take all the kettlebells and dumbbells and basically anything that's mobile, and let's keep rocking and rolling here. Because if it's $10 a month, $20 a month, it's well, that's an easy yes to keep the community engaged and keep them exercising. Why not continue? This is an opportunity to strengthen that relationship. You're absolutely right. When the brand is nameless and faceless, like we were talking off the air, people want to know who is behind this brand, who are the individuals, what's the team look like, what's the leadership look like. There's an opportunity for leaders of Globo gyms to step up and create a real sense of community around something that may have been check in, check out, put my headphones on and see ya.
Yeah, I think that there's a huge opportunity there that a lot of these businesses are going to look back on and say they didn't properly create, flexibility or redundancy in their business model, because, all of a sudden the world went completely remote and digital and quarantined, and they didn't really have anything to, offer to those people anymore. They didn't have that omni channel type of an approach. Like, that's why you have a lot of these retailers like a Walmart or Target that are doing fine, doing great right now, because they offer a lot of options in a very kind of situation where you have, a Globo gym that's, you have to come to my gym and that's the experience you're getting. They didn't really have like, on-demand classes or, these types of things that should have been a more like omni kind of approach that they could have created some flexibility. We've touched a little bit, you've mentioned a few times with obviously having a huge amount of gym owners still being supporters of your guys' products. And you mentioned a little bit around the Lift program, but can you give a little bit more details about like where that kind of came up and why you guys were doing it? Because I think that it's a unique program, and I think it's so on brand for what you guys are about, just from like the founding story and everything. I think everybody's looking to try to do something during this time, but there's a lot of people that are doing things that are, they never talked about before, so it makes it a little bit weird. Like, it's not on brand, and not to say that help needs to always be on brand, but it would help if you were always doing these things even before, and it makes sense to your brand.
Or it's not real. I've seen so many, we're supporting XYZ by taking a percentage of our profits. And I'm thinking, you're selling your product at a 50% discount. So how much profit is there? Then you're taking a percentage of that. Like, what? Let's make it transparent here. Are you going to support them or not? And if so, how much, right? So we've always tried to take a very transparent approach. Like, we want to make, can we help subsidize your rent? It's like something tangible. So, with Lift program, we were, brainstorming, and it's like, okay, we know the gym business is going to get hammered. We can either completely retract or we can push in and support. We decided to support. One, because it's the right thing to do. Two, they're our earliest adopters. And three, it's in our own best interest as well. If the gyms aren't there when all this resolves, then that doesn't do anybody any good. Us as a brand, the gym owner, the members, nobody, right? So we're all coming together. Like, how we want these organizations to keep afloat, and not only keep afloat, but thrive during these challenging times. So, Lyft was actually my business partner Ryan's idea of like, hey, a lot of these people are going to still be training at home, where we already see some online classes going and everything. They're still going to be drinking FitAid. So how about instead, if we're purchasing product at their gym after the workout, they're going to likely start purchasing direct from us. Okay, I buy that. So let's give the gym a unique link and say, have your members purchase through this link, and every case that they purchase directly from us, from direct to consumer D2C model on our website, we're going to give you the gym $15 cash. Okay, no percentage, no percent of profit ambiguity, $15 cash for every purchase. Boom, pay it to your PayPal account every month. So that's a program we got going. It's been, extremely successful so far. We launched it about a week ago. I think we're coming up on about 1,000 gyms so far have signed up. It's getting out to the membership. I'm seeing those case numbers continue to climb. So it's been a great win-win-win for both the members, the gym owners, and for LifeAid.
Kind of going back to some of the things you were talking about with communication, it's like, people want very clear, concise communication to them, and you're saying, hey, this is what we could do to help you. This is the exact thing that we could do, and we're not going to create a bunch of ambiguous statements around like, some percentage or something like that is really just tied to some capitalistic type of mentality that somebody's trying to just, entice somebody into buying a little bit more of things while they're already kind of struggling. It's a very unique program. And if somebody did, or they don't currently go and work out at a specific gym or CrossFit, but, still want to like support their local gym owner, could they attach themselves to a specific, I don't know if it's a code or something like that, but is there some way for somebody, say I want to support the CrossFit Central down the street or something. Could I do that by just buying off of a link like that? Or do I need to make sure that I'm a part?
Absolutely. Any retailer, any gym. So this program is very gym centric, but it's not just for our gyms. Our chiropractic offices have opted in. Our physical therapy offices have opted in. Like any small business that has an e-commerce relationship with us can benefit from this program. So gyms, CrossFit, boutique fitness, even some of the bigger gym chains that purchase direct, like anyone could take advantage of this program with us. And it's primarily been gyms, but we're seeing a lot of professional offices as well.
Well, I know you got a lot of things going on, Aaron, so I'll let you jump off here. Where could people get to know a little bit about you better, like your social media or LifeAid's, or just about the program, maybe if they're a gym listening to this and they want to kind of join that program?
Yeah, my personal is Aaron Hinde, Aaron Hinde, Hinde, most active on Instagram and LinkedIn. For the brand, at FitAid's our largest following on Instagram, or at LifeAid AID. And then LifeAidBevco.com has all the information that you'd need. If you click on customer service, we can walk you through the program. It's real simple to get going with it. And I just want to leave everybody with, look, we can control the inputs in our mind here, everyone. Like we have an option. Everything in life is a choice. We either choose to be a victim and point the fingers outward and say, woe is me, or we choose to point the fingers inward and say, this is on me and I'm going to take massive action. There's opportunity right now for everybody out there, everybody listening, to take massive action. Let's focus on what we can do. Let's provide massive value. And as you said earlier, people are not going to forget that when we come out of this thing. We're going to be stronger as organizations, as entrepreneurs, as brands, and as a community. It's very interesting as an observation that it took isolation to bring everybody together.
I cannot have said that better, Aaron. This is it definitely echoes a lot of what I've been saying on my end. So I want to appreciate you giving me the time and talking to my community, and you guys stay safe, and I wish you guys the best.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to help support me, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on this video. If this is the first time you've been introduced to my videos, would love for you guys to be a part of my community by subscribing to my channel. I upload several videos just like this weekly, and if you guys want to connect further outside of this platform, I do include all of my social media links down below. I just want to thank you guys again for your time. Hopefully I gave you value in return, and we'll see you guys on the next video.